Hi everyone, and welcome to another week of Essentially Shyla. My name is Shyla, and I'm coming to you from Cheyenne, Wyoming. This week I don't have much to share on what I've bought recently. I've only gotten one new thing, and I've got some more coming on the way, so you'll be able to see that next week. Um, I did, well, we'll start with the yarn acquisitions, and I've only gotten one, and I just went to the local yarn store here. And Cheyenne has two, but my favorite is Meadowlark Yarns because it's closer to me than the other one. And the gals that work there are very friendly, and I just love them. And it doesn't help that it's like less than 5 minutes from my house. So Cheyenne's not very big, but still, I don't really want to be driving across town to the other one. It's probably 5-10 minutes more out of my way. But anyways, I got a little 50 gram ball of the Regia just a gray, and I wanted to do some contrast heels and toes on my socks because I've been working on the yarn that I've got. I won from the holiday raffle thing, and I thought it would actually look very nice as a heel and contrast tone with this yarn. So it's showing up very blue on the screen, but I like it, so that's probably what I'll do. I'll probably have enough to do that. So that's all I've gotten this week. I did get some new needles that I'm going to be using on these socks. I've got some zeros that I wanted to try out, and when I get around to it, I'll try them out. So let's move on to works in progress. Have been mostly working on this cardigan for my sister's baby, and I'm almost done. As you can see, I just was about to start on the heel before I had to start on lunchtime with the kids. But I got one sleeve done. But doing the sweater, the arms for the sweater cardigan is very interesting. I've never picked up stitches on the sweater like the other two that I've done, or the other three. I've always worked the sleeve and then picked up stitches and then worked up from the armpit up to the yoke, and I was done with it. But this one is a little bit more different, so it's very interesting, and I actually almost like it better. And when I started on the second ball, I haven't used very much of it, so I'll probably have enough to make a hat or something afterwards. The where I started right here, the colors are slightly different, so I don't know if it's really noticeable, if it was just me because I've been working with the yarn more, but I can kind of tell a difference at the bottom because I ran out of yarn down here, right by the bottom border. But I really like this sweater. It's been really fast to knit up. I probably would have been done with it if it wasn't just me and the kids this week. My husband is out of town. He's supposed to be back today, but we'll see if he actually makes it from Denver to Cheyenne with the snow. We got some more snow on the ground last night, so that should be fun. But I really have enjoyed working with this pattern, and I think I'm probably going to end up buying the bigger pattern that goes up to 2 years so I can make my son one. But I've never done a yarn over buttonhole, and I almost feel like I like it better than the buttonholes that I did on the kids' sweaters. I did the 3-hole button hole stitch. I think it's 3-hole button stitch or 3-hole button stitch. I probably just repeated myself. Anyways, I did those ones when I was doing on the kids' sweaters, but I almost like this one better because it's a little bit easier to do. With the kids' sweaters, instead of the 3-stitch buttonhole, I did a 2-stitch buttonhole. So now I've started on the sweater and I didn't ever go out and look for buttons. So now when I do go out and get buttons for the sweater this weekend, I'm gonna take the sweater with me because there's such little but tiny buttonholes in it. But that's almost done. And if you follow me on Instagram, you will see my progress on it. And I forgot to say, you can follow me on Ravelry and Instagram as Essentially Shyla, and I'll put links to both and show notes on the bottom in the drop down box to make it easier to find the patterns that I'm talking about today. It's just basically the same as last week. So yeah, I'm almost done. I just gotta weave in ends, and I'm working on this pattern on a size 6 needle, and these are 6 too. These are also 4mm for those who are not in the US. And I'm working with Swan's Island organic washable DK, and it's super nice. Like I want a sweater in this, but it'll probably be like super expensive to make if I did a sweater in this yarn, because it doesn't come with very much to do a sweater for someone like me. And this, see, I can tell. To me, I can tell. I don't know if someone who doesn't work with yarn will be able to tell, but there's a slight tonal difference. And I probably should have like alternated skeins. But by the time that I got to the sleeves, I didn't have any yarn left. I basically used up until I ran out. And where is it? Right here. That's what's left of it. Right there. That's all that's left until I weave in. So, anyways, last week I was editing and I realized I didn't talk about the socks. My first pair of socks I ever made. I didn't have them because I wear them a lot. When I do wear them, I wear them around the house for a couple days. But I did a sock pattern class at my local yarn store, and it was a lot of fun. I'm kind of addicted to sock making now, so the socks I'm working on are taking longer because I'm working on other stuff. But here's my first ever pair. It's almost the same color as my shirt. This is a little bit more pinker. This is the number 9728 beginner sock pattern by Diane Soucy. And I knit this in the Cascade 220 Superwash, and this is the coral colorway. This is the worsted weight yarn, and that's what the pattern called for. And I really enjoyed working on my first sock pattern in a worsted weight because it's so much easier if you've never knit in the round to do it, which I have. I've never cast on in the round, so that was very interesting. I've always I have cast on. I've worked in the round before because I've made hats. I haven't really worked with something this small, like obviously. So it was a little bit more tricky. And I've never done it on double pointed needles. I've always done, when I've done my hats, I've done it on circular needles because I'm working in the round and it's easier and I've got more of a circumference to work with. So working with, oh jeez, I've got a needle in my hair from working on my pattern on that cardigan. That freaked me out. What was I saying? So yeah, working with double pointed needles was interesting. I've used them before, but it's always been to cast off on my hats to when I've gotten the point at the top of the head. So I really enjoyed it. It took me a little bit longer than probably everyone else in the class because my son decided that he would get to my pattern or my socks and rip out the needles, so I had to kind of rip back a little bit with those. So he's very mischievous. He's napping right now, which is why I can do this right now. Otherwise, he'd be wanting to sit in my lap and I wouldn't be able to get anything done. On to my next work in progress. Sorry. I haven't made much progress on my Tucker sweater. And, whoa, it's showing up really blue. it's like a tan. This is like a, what is with this coloring? Anyways, I was here last week and I've made a little bit of progress. I probably have gotten 4 inches done. I haven't really picked it up at all this week. I worked on it one day last week and that's about it. And I am really enjoying this. I took it off the needles and I put it on and it fits perfectly. So I'm really loving this. And this is the Tucker sweater by Amanda Shoesgar. And I did the ribbing. I changed the ribbing because I didn't like how it was done. And I did a Italian tubular cast on, which is very interesting. It's kind of like a long tail cast on, but not. It's very similar. And I'm working on the main part in size 8, 5 millimeter, 40-inch circular needle. And I'm using Hiya-Hiyas, which I like a lot. And I'm using the Cascade yarn, Ecological Wool, in the natural colorway, and I really, really enjoy this yarn. It's after working with this yarn first on this pattern, or on this sweater, and then moving over onto this cardigan, I kind of feel like I like this one more because it doesn't glide right through my fingers. So when I'm knitting with this, I have a hard time keeping the right gauge, like the tension of the yarn on the sweater without it getting too loose, because I want to keep the gauge throughout the same as when I started. So, and this is a lot easier because it doesn't glide through, and the way I knit, I wrap the yarn around my fingers to knit. So I really enjoy working with that. I think once I get done with that cardigan, I will pick up the sweater again because I really, 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 really want a sweater. And now that it's snowing, that'd be nice to have to keep warm. My next work in progress is some socks, and I'm just using a number 210 Beginner's Lightweight Socks by Diane Soucy. And this is yarn that I won from the raffle in December. And this is my first time working with yarn this small and on needles this small. So I'm using US 1.5s and a 2.5 millimeter double pointed needles, and these are the Hiya-Hiyas, and then the sharps. I'm not a fan of the sharps because when I'm knitting, I will push my needle through, so my tips of my fingers, if I look closely enough, I can see little red dots in them. I also yesterday shoved one of the needles up my fingernail, so I might go in and just exchange them for non-sharps, because I understand some people have some preferences to sharps and just like regular, but I'm not one of those people. My tips of my fingers hurt, and I feel like I haven't gotten very far in this just because I've been working on the cardigan, and it's going a lot more slowly because the needles are smaller. So sorry, I had to talk to the girls real quick. They came back upstairs from playing the games down there. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, I'm not going very fast on this pattern just because I'm working on another pattern, and I'm not really used to working with such little needles. So I know it's going to be a little bit more. I mean, it's a little bit more of a tight of a fit, but I'm really enjoying the pattern because this is the Reggie and Arnie and Carlos yarn, and this is in the 3765 colorway and the island for the name of it, and I really like it because it's got pops of purple in it, and the green, it's showing up really bright in this one, but the green is very light, you can't even really tell. But I'm loving the little right here. Like, it's like one more row, what is it gonna be? So I hope when I start on the second sock that I can match it up correctly. So we'll see. I'm really enjoying that, and it's I can't wait to get it finished. So yeah. What else? I wanted to show you the blanket I'm working on for my daughter, and I haven't really worked on it yet lately, just because November and December I was busy with making their cardigans and the sweater for my son. But this is something that, like, her sister's got one, and I'll show you that one next time. These are blankets that are gonna be sitting on her bed, so on their bed, and then they're gonna have quilts made by me this year as well. I have the yarn or the fabric for one of them, most of it. I just need to get the backing for it, and then what is it called when you put it? I can't think of it right now. In the middle piece. But this is my oldest, Miss O's blanket, and I've only got a quarter of it done. So I've got to make this to fit on a twin size bed. And it's all crochet, and I'll eventually put a border on it. That's why the end tails are sticking out right now. I haven't bothered weaving them in yet, but these are the colors she picked, purple and pink, and I kind of went with it and chose like different shades of purple. And sorry about that, someone was calling me, so I was like, I've got my Fitbit on and it buzzed at me. So anyways, I'm using Caron's Simply Soft, and I think I might be using Red Heart Soft, something like that, and like Lionheart, and I can't remember if it's the yarn that's been made in the US, and the colors are based off the national parks. So the white's definitely, or the cream, it's definitely the Caron Simply Soft, and the dark purple and then this dark pink is the Lion brand. And then I want to say, because I ran out of this, I couldn't find this purple anymore, so I went with a different one. I want to say at least one of the purples, it's probably like this light purple or this dark purple, or is the Red Heart or something like that. I haven't really been keeping track of what I've been using, just because I probably have enough yarn to finish the blanket. The only time I ever get more is for the cream color, because I probably will go through the most of that. Anyways, I do use acrylic yarn for this just because my kids were getting sick right before Thanksgiving. So it was nice to have, just be able to throw something in the wash and not have to worry about not drying it, because something in my house, I don't have a lot of space to be laying out a giant blanket, twin size, on the floor without having anyone touch it until it's dry. So yeah, that's what I'm making her. And this is it's a granny square sunburst pattern, and I'll link the pattern below and then include a picture of the original picture that I was like, oh yes, I need to have this. So right now this is sitting on my couch. My daughter is not allowed to have it until I get done with it, just because it motivates. I can see it all the time, so I'd be like, I need to work on that. I haven't picked it up yet, but my plan is to do, because I'm just making the circles right now, and then I'm attaching them on as I go. So I've left one side on with just to show me where I left off at. So it looks like I'm working from this, like this. Or wait, no, that's the white. Like this, this way. And I'll tuck in the ends on this side and hide the string. But right now it's just a couch blanket until I get done with it. It did take me on Little Miss A's blanket it probably took me a good 6 months or more to make hers, just because I didn't do it in all in one sitting. And I did just make the circles first, and then I attached all of them. And I made so many of the circles for her blanket. I've got another Ziploc bag full of just granny circles. And I can probably make another twin size blanket out of it because there's so many in there. So that was my big project for last year. And then I made baby E his baby blanket. I knit that out of like a Lion Brand organic cotton type yarn. And then I got that done before he was born. And then I made him just like a stroller blanket with fat fabric and then ribbon on the side of it. I'll show that next time. And I also made him a quilt, which I got done last year, probably in August or September. I can't remember. But I got his done. So now my whole goal is this year is to finish my sister's quilt, which I've got to get done at the end of this month, which I should have plenty of time. No problem. Finish my sister's baby shower gifts. I ordered more yarn for her gifts just because I couldn't find anything here in town of the colors I was looking for. So, and then I need to make a couple more Christmas presents this month. So I'm really busy with knitting projects, which is good because it keeps me happy and gives me something to do after the kids have gone to bed. Anyways, I wanted to share with you guys some of my 2016 crafting goals. I'm calling it crafting because I knit, I crochet, I quilt. I'm very artistic, so you can see my walls. I basically painted most of my house. So I love decorating. I love doing things that are do it yourself kind of thing. Saves money. I will admit, my curtains in my house. It's throwing me off. Behind me are the curtains from when we moved in. So my goal this year is to get new curtains on the living room windows and the dining room. Like my ones in my dining room are hideous. They're sunflowers and they don't even match my dining room at all. But I've been so busy with everything else since we've moved in, like 5 or 6 years ago. I haven't done anything to the windows. Besides, I've painted the walls. I've painted this dining room walls twice because the blue just wasn't right. So now it's like a robin's egg, kind of like a light blue. It's showing up really bright in this video, but I swear it's not that bright in real life. I've only half painted my bathroom. It's white, and I need to finish painting the top of it, trim, and hang up some shelves and some pictures in there, and so it's looking finished. So for knitting wise, I want to learn how to steek because I do want to do that pattern, that cardigan that I showed last time. I do want to be able to make my own homemade clothes, so I'll probably be making tons of sweaters, tons of socks. My kids want socks now, so I found a pattern for them that they can grow into. They want hats, they want gloves, so that'll probably be something they'll get for Christmas next year. I guess it's technically this year, it's still there. Christmas just happened, so I'm like totally off. I also am a big reader, and I finished a book that I had back from in October from the library, and I renewed it 3 times, which the max at our library is twice, and you can redo it online. So I was like, oh, I lost my library card. Can you just renew the books, those 2 books I have? And I didn't realize she had renewed it a 3rd time, so I was like, oh, so I could have finished it. I finished it last night, and then I started on Across the Universe. It's like a teen novel. It's really good. I'm started it this morning, and I'm already a quarter of the way through. So I'm really enjoying that. So I love reading. I had set last year an original goal of 50 books to read last year, and then I changed it because I'm like, oh, I could totally go more than that. So I set it to 75. I only read 55 books. last year, and that's because I picked up knitting, and it's consumed my life since then. And so this year I've made a goal of 100 books in 2016, and I hope some of you will join me. If you've got any recommendations, I'm open to anything. I will not read horror books. I'm not much of a horror movie kind of gal. I do read right now. Last year, I'll include my Goodreads profile, and you can go see what I've read last year and what I'm reading now. I go through big phases of romance. I will read trashy. Like last year, I read a ton of trashy Scottish romance novels, and it kind of affected like my decision in what I named my son. His name is Scottish. I won't tell you just because it's kind of something I keep my kids' names private just for privacy reasons. They are younger, so I know I'm weird like that. But anyways, I went through a big trashy romance novel kick, and I kind of still will read some. I will reread my favorites. I've done that a couple times. I'm kind of on a dystopian kick right now. I'm reading the Maze Runner series right now, and I listened to that book from the library. I got it on the ebook audiobook online through their online service, and I waited like 3 months for that book. It was ridiculous. I forgot I had to even like put it on hold, and then I'm like, I read it in like, well, I listened to it in 3 days, and I'm like, well, I want the other one, so how long is it going to take to get the other ones? And it won't tell you on the website, so I got impatient and I checked the rest of the audiobooks from the library. So I've got 3 of them that I need to finish before they're due, which will be no problem once I get done with this other book. So I will do teen novels, not very often. I did read a couple last year that I really enjoyed. I'm really into fantasy. I went through a kick of rereading all of Anne McCaffrey's books. I have some on my bookshelf over here that are mine that I need to read. And then I'm really into sci-fi too right now. I read a lot of my books through Audible, and then I'll check some out from the library. But like the last 4 books from Audible that I got were they fantasy? I think there was 1 fantasy or 2 fantasy and then 2 sci-fi ones. So yeah. I actually had to return one of the books I read last year I did not like. So I was like, oh, I wonder if I can return this, I'll get the credit back, and I did. I was like, yes, I've got another credit to use. So that's me. I love reading. I'll read anything besides horror. Man, I cannot talk. Books. I just don't like being scared. So if you've got any good recommendations, let me know. I will set up a Ravelry group for those who are interested. Just so I know I'm not talking to myself, which sometimes I feel like I am talking to myself with my kids. Like, they do not listen sometimes. So this week it's been a roller coaster. And I will be so happy if their dad makes it home tonight, because I need a break. We have a Christmas party to go to tomorrow, so if he doesn't make it, we're not going to be able to go. So I'll have to cancel our babysitter. So hopefully that won't come to that. Another one of my goals is to have a backyard garden. It's something I've been planning the last 2 years. Like last year I ordered seeds and everything, and I just never got around to planting it because I got so stressed with my babysitting job that I did from my house, and it still stressed me out. So this year's the plan, to have a backyard garden, and it's going to cover my entire backyard. That's the plan. Leave a little bit for the kids to play, but the rest is going to just be a garden. So as I'm gardening, I also want to learn how to can. So that's my other goal, is to do some canning. I'm kind of like getting back to the basics, back to the essentials of life, like hand knit garments. I'm not sure if I really want to sew my own clothes, but I'm a jeans and t-shirt kind of gal. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm like, back spray. Anyways, I'm a jeans and t-shirt kind of gal, so I don't know if I'll be able to. I don't wear a lot of skirts. I don't wear a lot of dresses. Wyoming's kind of windy for that. Kudos for those who can do that in the wintertime. Not me. I also, if I can find a good pair of slacks or something, I'd be up to that. Or like I find the right material to make some leggings or something. I don't wear a lot of those, but it's kind of nice for the couple of pairs I do have just to wear when I'm like in a rush, going out the door, heading to speech therapy from my middle child, Miss A. Yeah, Mondays and Thursdays are rough for us. I'm like rushing out the door. Like, we've got to go to speech. Let's hurry. We're late. Get out the door. So yeah, that's me. Those are my goals. I'm hoping that I can get more of a handmade wardrobe completed this year. That's my main goal, really, is for me and my kids to have something handmade. I'm really looking forward to that. I haven't, speaking of handmade stuff, you won't see the Rosemount cardigan this week because I never found the Malabrigo worsted in a natural colorway. So I switched gears and I went with the pink color, so that should be coming in this week. I haven't done anything with it. It's been sitting in the closet, untouched. And it's kind of killing me because this is a knit along we're doing at my local yarn shop. And I haven't done anything with it. I mean, I wasn't able to go to knit night on Monday anyways, so oh well. I'll be able to go again on Monday in like 3 days. So today's Friday. You'll see this on Saturday. So my husband left town on Monday, so I've been home with the kids. Just me and the kids all week, and they're probably sick of seeing me and tired of eating soup and pasta. I love leftovers. My kids do not. So when I made pork chops last night, they were like, yeah. Well, at least one of them was. Two of my kids do not like pork chops. They have a weird meat texture issue right now. But I loved them. They're delicious. Anyways, that is it for today. I hope you guys are enjoying your day, your weekend. You're getting lots of knitting done. It's snowing right here right now. Not very much, but it's been steady going since yesterday, so the ground is covered pretty good. I don't have any plans for this weekend besides I might go visit my dad this weekend if the roads are good. If not, we'll have to skip that. And then Christmas party tomorrow night. It should be fun. I don't really live an exciting life here in Wyoming. It's wintertime. There's not much to do unless you love skiing and you love hiking. You can go do that. I'm not a skier. I don't really like snow. I don't like going into it. I don't like being cold. But here I am living in somewhere where it's like cold 70% of the year. Yeah. Oh well. Anyways, I will get the Ravelry group started and I'll put some threads in there, some book recommendations. I love reading. If you want to hear some of my book recommendations, I will tell you next time or on the thread. Either both. Whatever works. So, I'll see you guys next time. Have a fantastic weekend. Ciao.